Your money, your income flows through your business, but it comes from you. Your consciousness is like a formula through which you're operating. A blueprint is the place where your results are actually coming from. And a very obvious proof of concept for this is when there are two people who are operating in the same businesses, same location, same market, same product. So why is it that one person can perform more and the other one can't, despite having the same amount of training, the same degrees? It's because the blueprint through which they are operating, meaning the formula that's actually determining the results, are different. Person A and person B have completely different blueprints. But as soon as you shift your blueprint, you shift the formula through which you are operating. So what your blueprint is currently doing, if you are struggling in your business, is that it's constricting your results. It's not supporting your strategy because it is rooted in lack, scarcity, struggle. Whenever you want more clients or you want to grow your business, what do you go and do? You go and implement a new strategy or a new idea, or you expand your product base. You look for a new market, isn't it? So basically what we try and do is we take more action. I want you to know that your business, your money, your income flows through your business, but it comes from you. What does this mean? It means that it's primarily coming from something called your consciousness. Your consciousness is like a formula through which you're operating. So all of us have something called a blueprint. A blueprint is the place where your results are actually coming from. Now, let me just give you an example of what I mean by that. A blueprint is something that makes you behave on autopilot, right? Now, when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Maybe you brush your teeth, you take your bath, you do your bed, isn't it? So this has been written in your blueprint as a formula. This is just the way you operate. Now, all of us have been implanted with certain ideas in our blueprint. So the ideas in your blueprint, can come from your lineage, they come from your past lives, for those who believe in past lives. They come from your childhood conditioning, they come from your past experiences. So these are the ideas that are forming the formula through which you are operating in your life on a day-to-day basis. But when we want to change something in our lives, we tend to change our behavior, right? So we go and do something new. We try and explore something that's different, and we feel like the results will change. Now, if you are somebody who's tried all these strategies, you've tried more training, you've gathered more information, you've gathered more knowledge, but you don't see a lot of change in your business, right? In your income or results, because you feel like the market does not support me. So what do? We go externally and say that the market does not support me, the economy is not favorable, clients are not responding to me. But I want you to understand that these aspects come from your own consciousness. Now, you can always challenge me and tell me that, Shalini, but everybody is experiencing similar problems as we, speak about this. I absolutely agree. And how is that happening? It's unfortunate that it is happening, but it is happening. And how? It's because we have a collective consciousness. The human beings on this earth at this point in time have the same kind of consciousness, and people living in the same country have even a more similar consciousness, and that's why they are faced with similar problems. In fact, just yesterday I was having a call with some of my clients, a group coaching call, and this is what I was explaining to them, that this is not a matter of earning more money. Yes, you should earn more money because it amplifies your life, but this is about a concept called ascension, right? If you want to change your reality, you've got to ascend beyond what the collective consciousness is experiencing. So what does that mean? It means expanding your own consciousness, expanding your awareness levels. Now, gathering more knowledge, undergoing more training, or implementing more strategies is not really going to help you expand your consciousness, hence change your income or results. Yes, they will only help you to the extent your consciousness actually supports this. So I want you to understand that whatever you try to do at a physical level, your blueprint, meaning the formula through which you operate on autopilot, is the one that's actually determining the results. And that's why I said that your income, your business, your clients, they come through your business, through your job, your career, but they come from you. Coming from you means it's this specific formula through which you are operating is the one that's ultimately determining the results. And a very obvious proof of concept for this is when there are two people who are operating in the same businesses, same location, same market, same product, right? Why is it that one gets different results from the other? And another example is salespeople. I love using this example because salespeople are all trained, up to the same level in a company. Companies do not discriminate as per the amount of training they give each salesperson, isn't it? So why is it that one person can perform more and the other one can't, despite having the same amount of training, the same degrees, right? The same product knowledge and access to the same market? It's because the blueprint through which they are operating, meaning the formula that's actually determining the results, are different. Person A and person B have completely different blueprints. So in your business, if you are somebody who's implementing the best strategies, has the best products, you've done the best market research, you have access to your client base, but if you are still facing difficulties, it's because your blueprint, the formula through which you are operating, is based in sacrifice, scarcity, and lack, right? So these are the imprints that you have in your blueprint, and this is the reason why you're not able to get the results that you want. And as I said, if you strive to get more knowledge, more training, then this is something that may not necessarily help you. But as soon as you shift your blueprint, you shift the formula through which you are operating, then you are going to be supported. That same strategy, that same access to market, that same market research that you carried out is going to give you amplified results. So what your blueprint is currently doing, if you are struggling in your business, is that it's constricting your results. It's not supporting your strategy because it is rooted in lack, scarcity, struggle. So there are about 25 unconscious patterns that we all have in our blueprint, and everybody has them in different proportions. So based on the challenges that you are having, there are people who are in debt, right? So I also work with individuals in terms of eliminating their debt. So they have a very high level of debt consciousness in their blueprint. And this is the reason why they just can't seem to be getting out of debt. So this is where your scarcity patterns actually play out from. So you might be thinking that why is it that somebody is more privileged than I am? Well, there's nothing to do with more privilege. It's simply the patterns in their blueprint, meaning the formula through which that they're operating is determining the results that they are getting in their life. All right. So I just want to share my example. When I was in the corporate world, I used to be in sales for about 5 years, and I pretty much failed. That's what I would say, because it wasn't anybody's fault. So what happened is that I had access to the same training, the same information, the same products, and the same market that other people in my department had. But why is it that others were climbing the corporate ladder so fast, but I was not doing as well as I wanted to with regards to sales? It's not that I wasn't selling at all, but I wasn't doing as well as I wanted. And I had the same MBA that they had. Actually, all of us were from the same school. So you couldn't say that they were more qualified than I was. We all had the same qualifications. So I kept failing, and it's only after I met my mentor, Bob Proctor, I found out that I was operating from a different level of formula. My formula was structured differently compared to those other people. So their formula was not rooted in scarcity, struggle, and lack, while mine was. So no matter how hard I worked physically, no matter what ideas I came up with, no matter what strategy I implemented, it still stopped me from achieving the results that I wanted. So I want you to understand that you don't need to keep struggling. You simply need to restructure the formula through which you are operating. And this is exactly what I have been helping my clients do. So if you are somebody who feels like you're not getting the clients that you desire, your business is not at the level that you would like it to be, then do get in touch with us so that we can help you restructure the formula through which you are operating.